What's up, D? Melbourne. Guys, we are back. We haven't been live in like a couple of weeks. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. Last week. If you guys have any questions regarding gym, diet, self-improvement, whether it be about physical health, mental health, dating, relationships, books. I have a bunch of books next to me right now. Got Attached by Dr. Emil Levine. We have one of my favorite books, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. Any questions regarding any area of self-improvement, let's pump them through. We're going to be live for around an hour tonight, so let's pump as many questions as we can. Is the audio good or too loud? I might need to adjust the volume a bit. Do you know stuff about calorie deficit? I like to say I know a lot of stuff about like diet, specifically calorie deficit. Let's answer that as the first question. Also, guys, spam the like, spam the share so more people can find this live. Let's pump it, let's pump it, let's pump it. Let's go. Calorie deficit is basically you want to be burning more calories than what you're consuming. And there's two ways to do this. You can have the diet approach and pull calories out from your current diet, while also simultaneously at the same time progressive overload in your physical activity through adding in cardio sessions, maybe playing a sport, going for extra walks, getting more steps in. That over time is going to burn calories, which is fuel, and slowly put you more in a deficit. And I think weekly adjustments every week will continue to keep you in a deficit. A lot of people like to think that, if I just do a crash diet and split half of my calories in half, I'll lose weight. Which, yes, bro, you will. But it's unsustainable. You're going to plateau and the cravings are going to be higher than ever before. This is why I highly recommend small little micro tweaks with your diet or even your physical activity, and you're going to put yourself further into a deficit. What's going on, George? We're back live. If you guys have any questions regarding gym, diet, self-improvement, what's going on, Stephen? How's your day, brother? Did we hit the gym today? For me personally, it was a rest day today. I just went to the gym. I've actually started my cut just recently. Weighing in around 90 kilos. Went to the gym today, just did 35 minutes on the Stairmaster. I feel like level 6 is a really good intensity for keeping you steady state, not making the intensity too high, but a good intensity to get a good sweat, while also not like destroying your legs, almost like keeping your legs fresh still. What is this NAD? I'm not quite sure, man. Pardon me. Guys, spam the like, spam the shares. Any questions regarding gym, diet, self-improvement, physical health, mental health, social skills, dating, relationships, books, pump them through. I'll make sure to answer each and every single comment. I feel like so happy and fulfilled right now. Life's amazing, bro. Do you reckon the dating society is good in this generation? I love that question. Very in-depth. Unfortunately, it's never been harder and it's also never been easier. And I say this because the top 10% of men are attracting like 80 or 90% of women. Like that's just a non-negotiable. And I'm sure we've all heard the phrase, hoflation. I don't want to get too much into this now. I want to keep this more PG, but basically standards are only going higher and higher. And this is why I think for us young men, it has never been more important to hop on self-improvement and trying to become not only as jacked as possible, but as of educated as possible, as of mentally healthy as possible, building good mental health through meditation, reading books. But do I reckon the dating society is good? I don't want to have a warped mindset and say, everything's bad, because obviously there's always good with the bad and there's always bad with the good. And I think you attract who you are. So if you become the best version of yourself, you will most likely attract someone like that as well into your life. Thanks so much for the follow, DJ. Appreciate it, brother. Push today in a 6K run. That is a hectic day. How was the session? 6K run, was that like a max effort or more like maintaining a certain specific intensity? It's so fucked because I've been running consistently now for a year, and when I first did a proper run last year, I could only do 3Ks at like a 6 minute pace, and that was like an all out effort. And it's so funny because I thought I was like fit, I thought I was like that gym junkie, all about health and fitness, but I couldn't even run 3Ks. Embarrassing. Whereas now, yeah, I can probably do a 10K at like 5 minute pace or 5 minute 30 pace. It just goes to show that you have to be more than just the guy who lifts weights. Because I swear to God, the more I started running, the more my gym sessions started to improve as well. Just because I wasn't running out of breath mid-set, I was much more conditioned and fit, and I could actually take my muscles to proper muscular hypertrophy failure. Run-ins are non-negotiable. Obviously, if you're going to become like some sort of marathon runner and you're going to be running like 10, 20Ks every single day, okay, bro. Probably not the most optimal thing to be building muscle with. This is why I just do 2 runs a week. One interval run, so like sprints, whether it be 200 meters, 400 meters, fucking max out intensity, 6 sets, 2 to 3 minute rest in between. I'll smash that, space that with my leg day. And the other run, bro, it's just like a light tempo run at like 70% intensity. Now I do a 5 to 10 kilometer run every 2 days, depending how I'm feeling. That is intense, man. Running is such a drag, though, I can't lie. To do it every 2 days, that's a lot. That's a lot of miles and kilometers on your body. I'll put this music down a bit. How do I train as someone who is hypermobile? You train like everyone else is. Like, it depends what you're training for, man. If you want to train for bodybuilding, okay, do more hypertrophy rep range. Limited sets, high intensity. That's what I do, and I swear to God, changed my physique. And this is coming from someone who used to always do like high volume and think more sets, more reps, more gains. Or lift heavy, do the 3 to 4 rep range, and that's going to get me jacked. No. If anything, bro, keep it super simple. 2 sets max each exercise. For my chest, bro, I only do 2 exercises. I'll do some sort of press. Wait, why is there some car outside? What's going on? Someone's revving the car. I'll do 2 sets of like incline dumbbell press. And I'll make sure I log my top set weight, which is super important because if you're not logging your sets, bro, you're pretty much walking in. We got someone spamming Moe, okay. If you're not logging your sets, 2 sets heavyweight, no, 100%. But when I say heavyweight, that doesn't mean 3 to 4 rep range though. Because define, what is heavy? I had a conversation with one of my close friends and he was saying how, oh, I'm lifting heavy, but I'm still not growing. I'm like, well, what is heavy to you? Oh, I have to do 3 to 4 reps because that's heavy. I'm like, why can't you lift heavy but a higher rep range? It's just a matter of taking it to failure, right? So I don't like the word heavy. It really like frustrates me. And obviously I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh no, you need to train like this or else whatever you're doing is wrong and you're not making gains. Who is revving their car, bro? Fucking hell. 2 sets, 8 to 12 reps, keep it simple, and log your top set. Log how much weight you lifted and also specifically log how many reps you recorded. Because there's more than one way to progressive overload. A lot of us like to think that the only way to progressive overload is by putting more weight on the bar, which is false. I'm sorry, your nanny, but not tonight, brother. We can also progressive overload by completing an extra rep or even improving our form and still hitting the same reps. Exactly, Nick, exactly. And this is a much more safer way of training. Because if we let our ego get the best of us and we like to think, oh, I'm not lifting more weight this week, and we keep trying to up more and more and more and more weight, it won't take long to get some sort of like shoulder injury, because that's what happened to me 5 years ago when I used to lift weights like a complete and utter spastic. Not intelligent. Really, really not intelligent. And if you want to build muscle over the long term, How can we do that? We don't get injured. We don't get injured. One of the biggest mistakes is all of us just getting injured. Thank you so much for the follow, Ian. Appreciate it, brother. Guys, any questions about gym, diet, self-improvement, pumping through? I'll make sure to answer each and every single question. Damn, my throat is like super dry. What should I do in uni? I'm doing well in school and can get a 95-ish ATAR. Do whatever feels super purposeful to you. Don't do something just because of some sort of external reward that doesn't give you fulfillment. Like a lot of us like to think, oh, I'm going to do this degree because I get this much money and then I can get this car and then I can get this and this and this. That's a very selfish and one-way-sided, one-dimensional way of thinking. With trying to find purpose, which I'm going to post on YouTube about this really soon. It's actually coming out in 2 days. YouTube channel, Petis. When trying to figure out what your purpose is, you have to ask the question, how can I help and not what do I get? It is a human desire to help. And when we help, regardless of how much money, that is when we actually feel most fulfilled. Like right now I'm helping, I'm giving advice about gym, this and that. And I've never felt happy either. I want to also do businesses and be an entrepreneur. If that's what you really want to do, like you got to, this is going to sound really autistic, but dumb it down. We have to dumb it down. Thank you so much for the follow, Kin H. Appreciate it, brother. What helped me the most with trying to figure out what I really want to spend the most time on was journaling. Just so I could like physically see on the piece of paper, okay, I want to do this and this and this. Let's take a little step towards this. Oh my God, the comments are pumping, guys. Keep them up. I'll make sure to answer every single one. Do I take 1.5 grams of protein per kilo? About. I'm not like too nerdy with it. I weigh 90 kilos and I have probably, pardon me, I have probably 190 grams of protein a day-ish, 180. Like I'm not too strict on it. How do I gain more strength in my thighs and legs as a pole dancer? Squat. If you have access to a pendulum squat, that is my favorite variation of squatting. Barbell squat, you're using a lot more other muscle groups. Not really going to get the most. It's a staple. Like I would spend years doing it, but I guess more bodybuilding and size focus. Any sort of pendulum or hack squat is probably your best bet. Michael commented, let myself go, need to find myself again. Any ideas? I love that comment, bro. I love it because I used to ask the exact same thing. And honestly, bro, I'm going to give you a pretty niche, mundane answer. And that's that right now, you've let yourself go. You've fallen into the habits of instant gratification. Habits which give you happiness in the moment, but always leave you feeling worse compared to before starting the habit. So what's an example of this? Okay. Playing video games. You're playing video games for X amount of hours. You think you're having so much fun, but as soon as you click the off button on the console, fun's gone, and now you can't escape your problems anymore, and you have to face them, and you just say, why did I waste this amount of time playing video games? That wasn't worth it. And you're probably thinking, oh, video games are fun. No, Adrian, I need them to relax and all this stuff. Stop coping. You know they're wasting time. You know you're not progressing towards any of your goals, and you're getting this superficial, fake feeling of progression in the virtual world and not in real life. It's a waste of time. It's boyhood behavior. And if this is triggering you, any of you right now, you know what I'm saying is true, and that's why you're getting offended. And that's just one example. I can say this with junk food. As soon as you take a bite of the Big Mac, the pleasure's over. Now you've got to deal with the consequences of having higher body fat. Not fun. So, how do you find yourself again? You start implementing more delaying gratification habits. Stuff which is kind of hard in the moment, but it's almost like an investment to your future self. And it's almost like donating happiness to future you. Because who you are right now is a sum of all of your previous habits. The reason why you're unhappy now is because past you stole all of the happiness of present you. So to become a better version of yourself, we've got to start giving happiness to the future you. Doing hard stuff now is going to make later you feel better. So It's like, whoa, is it really that simple, Adrian? It's like, yeah, bro, it actually is. Like, start going to the gym consistently. As hard as it is, you know you're going to feel better every single time you walk out of the gym, as painful as it is. Start reading a book. I know that's probably some advice you haven't heard from anyone because all the influencers today are absolutely shit. I can like physically tell you what to do. If you're like, I'm not going to lie, bro, if you listen to my advice, you will make progress. I've heard that from hundreds of people. But if there was one book I was to recommend you, it is The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. Life-changing. I've read it 4 times now. Comments are pumping, guys. Keep pumping them. Let's go, let's go. Thanks for the follow, Oliver. Like my dog passed. I'm so sorry to hear that, Michael. And I'm just lazy and shit. Yeah. Baby steps, bro. Baby steps. Like, I can bombard you with a bunch of information, but it'll be too much and it will make the task seem more daunting to improve yourself. So I guess some good actionable advice and steps is to start small. Ask yourself, what is one thing that you want to start doing that you're not doing right now? If it's making your bed, as cliche as this sounds, that's probably your purpose right now, is to make your bed. Because over time, that won't be as of difficult, start to be routine. And then you got to keep asking yourself, what's the next thing I can do to semi-challenge myself that's like a little bit daunting, but not too much? Just something which I feel like puts me outside of my comfort zone is going to enable and cause growth. Listen to this, man. Coming from a man, this is very, very important advice. Thank you so much, Swag Daddy 2000. Appreciate it, bro. Don't say the 48 Laws of Power. Pretty cliche default book. Like Robert Greene's books are good. I think, what's it called? Laws of Human Nature is better. But some of my favorite books, Superior Man, Attached, Hard Times Create Strong Men, How to Do the Work, Power of Now, Meditations, Storyworthy, Super Communicators. What else we got? The Charisma Myth, How to Win Friends and Influence People is actually kind of mid. Influence is a good one. How to Talk to Anyone. Surrounded by Idiots is really good as well. Power of Your Subconscious Mind, even better. What's your training split? Push-pull legs 3 times a week. That's it. Only go in the gym 3 times. I want to switch gyms from commercial to more bodybuilding based. I need people who push each other. That was the exact same switch I made. Like last year, I used to go to like Club Lime, and now I go to Emerge. It's like a really bodybuilding focused gym, and everyone's training hard in there. Best environment. None of these like high schoolers who have no idea what they're doing. Much more older age bracket, but best decision I ever made. Highly recommend checking that gym out. It's called Being a Winner. Amen. Pain is temporary, suffering is optional. Thanks so much for the follow, Nick. What do I eat in a day? Pretty simple diet, but a lot of you will think, oh, what, you eat that much of that? That can't be good. Basically, all of the foods I consume are one ingredient. All of them. So the foods I eat: beef mince, steak, avocado, cook all of my food in butter, white rice, sweet potato. Did I mention steak? I think I did. Steak, tuna, and eggs. A lot of fucking eggs. Believe it or not, 8 eggs a day. And that's it, bro. Like, what's a standard meal? Okay, Scotch fillet steak, 4 eggs, half a sweet potato, avocado, bit of honey as well. A lot of fats. I eat a very high fat diet and it's game changing, bro. Obviously, I did list a lot amount of foods. I didn't list my full meals and calories specifically. Adjust your calories to your certain body weight and years of training. You don't just want to eat my same amount of calories because you probably don't have the same amount of muscle as me. You probably weigh less. So by eating the same food as me, it will just cause a lot of fat gain, which is a mistake I made like 3 years ago. I got super, super fat because I thought I had to eat big to get big. But in reality, I just end up hitting like 100 kilos in a very short time frame. And I thought it was all muscle, but in reality, fucking hell, what a mistake. A lot of one ingredient foods. I don't eat stuff like pre-made meals and oats. What's another example? I don't eat bread. Most sliced bread is loaded with ingredients and kind of gives your gut a lot of trouble to digest. Do I gamble? I used to. I used to be pretty bad with it, but it's not worth it, bro. Not worth it. Did you connect with others at the gym? I'm relentless to connect with people who I aspire to be. Oh, 100%. I've made so many new friendships. And I guess to answer that question, I did actually release my private school community, which is a private group, which is all about self-improvement. We have a discussion thread where you can ask any questions whenever something's on your mind, and not only I can answer it, but so can other people in the group. We also have pre-recorded courses, which is like 10 hours plus of my own private recorded content that I have there. And I also host 2 live calls a week on there. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend checking it out. It'll be like my little link tree in my bio. Quick little plug. What are my thoughts on gambling? It's addictive. It's addictive, and it's instant gratification. It doesn't really, like, you can win a bet, which is cool. Spikes your dopamine, makes you feel like you accomplished something that was in your control, when in reality it was not even in your control at all. But I feel like it's a slow and steady death and downward spiral, which most of the time never ends well. Because got to be honest, bro, like, you don't have much control. You're betting on other people to perform. Why not bet on yourself and start improving yourself? Maybe even start your own business. Like, that is a much better investment of your time. Like, as fun as it is to watch sports, it is all a business. People want quick money. It's the harsh truth. And with quick money comes quick losses. That's the hardest pill we all need to swallow. Quick money builds a lot of ego, and you're probably going to lose it twice as of fast. Any more questions about gym, diet, self-improvement, pumping through? Now, I don't know if you've been serious with that comment, but big mistake. 12, you haven't even gone through puberty yet, so don't even worry about any of that stuff. It will more than ruin your health. Yep. At 12 is crazy. Like, I'm 23 now, and it has never even come in my mind once to take any of that stuff. And it's so crazy because the next generation, and I know people that are younger than me, a lot of us like to think that by taking something will give us the happiness. But if anything, I think it's just a lot of impatience and a lot of insecurity. And unless you're competing, bro, it's not worth taking up until you're like 35 plus. Like, it should not be in any of our headspaces. And I don't want to be some guy saying, oh, you got to do this and this. All right, this is... Natural body takes longer, but it's worth it. It's 100% more worth it. Do test, it's good. I'd rather just increase my testosterone naturally. Like, a lot of people take all of this stuff, and it's like, first, their sleep isn't even locked in. They're not even getting sunlight. Their diet's like a lot of like processed ingredients. It's like, bro, What the hell, man? A lot of impatience. And it's like, bro, you're going to have to come off cycle eventually. And then once you come off, you're going to be getting less validation again, less attention. How do you, like, do we think ahead and think how that's going to affect our ego and self-image? It's like, why not just do a natural so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff? I'm sure it did, but like, at the end of the day, like, they're just numbers, bro. Like, what's it going to be like when you have to, like, come off? It's weird. I was watching Hamza. He's like some other self-improvement guy, and he actually just announced that he's been taking tests for like 2 years. And I'm like, bro, that's like, this whole time I thought it was natural. It's like, bro, you're a bit of a fraud. And I know it's like, oh, but it's just this. It's like 20% less of a full blast or going crazy. But I think it's still something that can negatively impact your health in the long term. Oh, what's going on, Ross? Hey, Bin Man. Yeah, he mentioned he's taking tests. I saw a video of it yesterday. He's been taking it for 2 years, and he's someone I looked up to. I'm like, oh, bro, your advice is so good. Yeah, bro, you're natural. You did it right. And now he comes out and says he's been pinning for like 2 years. It's like, what the fuck? People lose their hair because of taking roids, etc. It's definitely not the right path to go down. My God, my throat's so dry. And I feel like there's so much more important things to be focusing on other than your testosterone, doing it some sort of unnatural way. It's such an extra stress into your life, seriously. Like, I don't care how much it can increase my bench or my physical attractiveness or my muscle mass and this and that. I'm literally, how do I say this? Okay, I'm going to give a really easy explanation of what happens on like on a large level actually. My testosterone is here, natural. What am I here? Then I decide to hop on, my testosterone goes to here, and it's going higher highs. I feel better than ever. I'm getting more attraction from girls. Have more confidence. I feel like Superman, morning wood, everything's amazing. But then I decide to go off cycle. Now when I'm off cycle, I'm no longer at my natural test limit. I am now below what I originally was. And I'm going to feel like really emotional, really bad negative thoughts. Mental health's going to be fucked. Energy's going to be fucked. And I'll think that a new cycle will fix this and I'll go high highs again, but then I'll come off and I'll go lower low again. Like, that's a rough example, but it's like, bro, why deal with that? Just fucking, just go get some sunlight. Exactly right. Like, a lot of people hop on it thinking they'll get better mental health. It's like, no. Meditate for an hour. Don't worry about taking that stuff. Meditate first. And maybe even try pick up a book and learn new skills other than just like, yeah, I'm really against it. And I know this will trigger people because most of the influencers today are all about, oh, inject. YOLO, you only live once. But it's like, bro, come on. Have you read How to Win Friends and Influence People? If so, thoughts on it? Good question, Ross. I have. It's actually on the other side of my room. That is one of the only books I've read and I really disliked. Believe it or not. Because it's very... It's an old book. It was written in the 80s or 90s. I could be wrong, but really old. And like the lessons in it aren't that applicable. I feel... Melbourne. I need to go outside, touch grass. Definitely though, like dead ass. Do I take creatine? I do. Creatine's a non-negotiable at this. Like, we all know how, like... There's like so much studies on creatine. I've been taking it since I was like 16. Does it cause hair loss? I don't think so. Nah, myth. And there's even like new studies saying how like it improves your brain health and dopamine. Thanks so much for the follow, appreciate it. Hey, what's going on? I have read Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's another good one. That's a very easy read. Very easy read. I think it's a good way to like start to zoom out and like obviously not care as of much as people's opinions. But what I'm reading now is The Courage to Be Disliked. Almost finished. This book's fucked. Let me see if I can find a quote. that I've highlighted. That will be some really valuable stuff. Hmm. So I'm making up my fours. Just so. Got some highlight parts here, but I don't think. Basically, the whole book is like a conversation between a philosopher and a student slash. He's called Youth. I don't know if you can read that. Youth. It's just back and forth dialogue between them two, and the guy is coming to this philosopher saying, "I have no friends. I'm lonely." And basically, the philosopher is saying to him that you are lonely because you are choosing to be, and that you are creating a problem and you are achieving your goal to being lonely. It's very like fucking well worded and what's the right word I'm looking for? Straightforward and a very cruel way of thinking, it seems like at first, but it's fucking interesting. It's so interesting. Best book I've read. Had a cold shower today. Does it mean I'm better than everyone else? It means you're better than the people who didn't. You should read Trump, The Art of the Deal. Let me screenshot that. I've never heard of that, man. Can you tell me what it's about? Never heard of that. I love your accent. Thank you so much. That is such a good compliment. Can I talk shit about gambling? What's bad? What's good? So on, so on. I did briefly touch on this before. And the reason why I personally think it's horrible, and keep in mind, I used to be like hyper addicted to it. I would bet on like every single AFL game, watch every AFL game, basically just waste time and cope. But the reason why I think it's bad is that, let's be real, as much as you can study and think you know it all and think you're such a good punter, it is just luck. Just luck. And it's like, why bet on someone else and not yourself? Why waste money and time to try and make quick money? And basically, what I said before, whenever you make quick money, you're probably going to lose it as twice as fast because it builds ego. It doesn't build much character. There's not much like tough lessons that you've learned through throwing a punt. Who's my favorite AFL player? I haven't watched AFL in like 2 years now. But I am a Carlton fan, but I don't watch any of the games anymore. I feel like, oh my God, someone has to pay me to sit down and watch a game. Like I feel so unproductive. But to answer your question, I would say Levi Casbolt. Would you say gambling is good if you're disciplined enough? No, 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 no. No, no, no. I think starting a business is good. I don't think gambling is good in any way, shape, or form. Starting a business is quite literally gambling on yourself. So if we don't have the courage to take that risk and we're risking on other people, it just shows our character as a whole. It's like business but faster. That is so good. I mean, if you want to think like that, by all means, bro. What's up, Eric? What's going on, bro? Double or nothing in one go. Fuck. We're all gonna get broke as fuck. I don't know if you guys can hear the background music. Let me try to put up a bit. You're inspiring. I've watched you for like over a year. Holy fuck, bro. That I appreciate that. That is such a fucking good compliment. That makes me happy so much, man. I hope you're taking action on the stuff I have to share. Got to read more often. Yeah, reading's probably one of the hardest habits to stay consistent with. I feel like to improve the habit of reading, you got to dedicate and just say to yourself, I'm going to dedicate 1 hour of the day to this. I'm going to put my phone in the cupboard, put an alarm on or timer, 1 hour, and just do the hard thing and pick up a book and read it. And you'll be surprised. Like once you pass that first page, you start to get in the flow state and it starts to become, I don't want to say obsessive or easier, but it starts to become pretty enjoyable. Like sometimes I'll go for a walk and I'll bring a book and I'm like doing double work. I'm getting steps in, I'm reading. It's fucking such a hack. And you just learn. Like you want to be a constant learner. And it's fucked because literally 3 months ago, I had this phase of thinking I knew it all. I wouldn't go live. I would get kind of lazy with posting. And I wouldn't even pick up a book. Just because I'd already read like 50 books. I'm like, I don't need to read anymore. I just need to make money or do this. But it's just fuck. Like literally reading puts you in the right energy and it just makes you want to do more. You're literally putting your ego aside for however much time and trying to take in what some author is trying to teach you. Like that takes a lot. And a lot of us in school wouldn't even put our ego aside to listen to the teacher. So now we're going to try we're not even like seeing the person. We're just reading what is written. It takes a lot. But once you can understand that and think, oh my God, I have such a big ego. I'm going to put my ego to the side and actually try listen for once. You'll learn. It's 10:30. I actually need to be in bed soon. If I were a billionaire, would I gamble for fun? No chance. Because if I was a billionaire, I would have a different definition of fun. And I think the only people who find gambling fun are the people that are poor. It's fun to them, just the thought of making quick money. Just because it doesn't really take much discipline. But think of like a billionaire. He's probably like the most disciplined guy to reach that level, obviously. Gambling to him might just feel like, what the fuck? Like, okay, it is some entertainment, I guess a bit of luck, and there's fun in that aspect. But, yeah. Wait, how old are you? You sound like 50 by wisdom, but look 22 by appearance. Great to see your content. That is the best comment I've ever received. I am screenshotting that, bro. I'm 23. Oh, shit. I clicked the screenshot, the live just froze. What a compliment, man. I get that a lot, and I think I got a good question in another live. I think it was like last week. Some dude asked, how are you so wise? Is it through reading books? I screenshotted, bro. I screenshotted. I'm telling you. I got this comment once, and some guy said, how'd you become so wise? Was it through reading books or life experience? And obviously, I'm only 23. I've rarely fucking traveled. The only time I've left Australia was to New Caledonia when I was like 12. I've never been to Europe. So I'm not like a crazy cultured guy. But I think reading is such an important area of growth. And it doesn't get spoken about enough. As like boring as it can seem, I'm telling you, bro, it fucking just connects all the dots. With whatever you want to learn about. This is why, like, if you feel like you're struggling with relationships, bro, you got to learn about the attachment styles and read. Attach. Name a car for an edit. McLaren. Fucking crazy book. I need to reread it again, bro. Why did the color just change? Oh my God, it's gone so bright. Ross commented, best money book you've ever read. I think, what's it called? Rich Dad Poor Dad is very beginner by Robert Schumowski, or however you pronounce his name. That book taught me a lot about how to invest and realize There's assets and liabilities. It's very basic, but a good starting point. I guess more entrepreneur. I guess that's more investing. A more like entrepreneur type book is, oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Fucking, this book is fucking. One of my friends got this. He fucking loves it. This is a book you want to read. Bible. All of the stuff in this you'll be like, oh my God, I kind of knew that, but I wouldn't hear anyone talk about it. You want to get this. The 4-Hour Work Week. Hamza speaks about that a lot as well. Half of that book is okay. The other half's kind of shit and outdated stuff. But that's also really good. Power of Habit. I guess that's more productivity. What else? I think that's probably it. And then I guess with making money, you do want to learn a lot about like human behavior as well. So like Robert Greene's books are nice. I saw a vid of you saying going to the gym 3 or more times is coping. How does that make sense? Especially coming from a bigger person and wanting to improve. Basically, you think right now that more gym sessions equals more gains, which is false. And we need to leave our ego at the door and realize that less doesn't always correlate to more. Legend Ross, appreciate it. I used to be some guy who would go to the gym like 5-6 times a week and think that would give me more gains and I'd get bigger faster. In reality, Leo, that just kind of, you almost plateau because you're not giving your body the rest and recovery it needs. Realize that our muscles grow with more rest. The science lifter, Jeff Nippert, he even does like 1 set per exercise or maybe 2 sets and he's grown more than ever before. High intensity, low volume. Like obviously you're going to be training less, but you're going to be having a more intense effort on the lesser sets and days you're now doing. It's like you can hit your muscles harder every time. You're coming in fresh. That's it, Tomo. I don't watch UFC. I've never really enjoyed it. Got a friend who's passionate about it, but I don't know. I've never really watched it. That's a very random question. No, I'm not. Nope. No idea. Guys, any last questions about gym, diet, self-improvement? Pumping through. We're going to wrap this live up in 5 minutes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's going on, Josh? I'm finishing my last 2 classes. Does Jonkin, what's going on in here? What a name, fuck. Affect gains? I'm going to argue yes. And there's a reason why. It gives us, it doesn't only drain our masculine essence and aggression and willing to get better, but what it does specifically is it gives us a poorer self-image. It gives us these feelings of guilt, shame, regret, like, why did I do that? Oh, I'm so addicted, I'm getting no girls, what am I doing? And you just get put in this like negative energy. And yes, it's enjoyable and pleasurable, but that pleasure, bro, is very short-lived. Releases stress. That is the most like, yes, that is what everyone who faps says. And it does theoretically, but there are other ways to release stress that don't... Fuck. I made a YouTube video about this. It's actually my most recent YouTube video. I highly recommend you check it out. Adrian Scott Petis. Of course. Ask yourself right now. That's coping, Hawk. Relationships are better than ever. And if you think they're not worth your time, that's probably because we're not who we're meant to be right now. And we can't attract the girls we actually want. Relationships will actually grow and improve you the most if it's with the right person. And to be with the right person, we need to become more of the higher value guy. Thank you. That's cope. Yes, Leo. Good stuff, Leo. Oh, I love it when people call out cope. That is like my YouTube channel. I'm basically just destroying copeness and limiting beliefs. As much as it hurts. As much as it hurts. Because I used to say that exact same thing. I would isolate myself and say, oh, girls are a waste of time, this and that. But now I've like been in a relationship for like almost a year now, and I've progressed more than ever before. And it comes down to you and your intellect and selection ability to pick the right one. I was answering a question and I've gone off topic. Oh yeah, no fap. I was going to say, ask yourself if there was someone. Oh no, this is too deep. This is too fucking. This isn't meant for live. I've come a long way since school. Thank you so much, Uncle Bully. Appreciate it, bro. That means a lot. People with no self-confidence are the ones saying relos are bad because they can't get girls. It's not even just that. Like, I know people who do get girls and they still say relos are bad. A lot of it comes down for like... This is going to be a long yap session. I guess loving is risky, and a lot of us have the fear of not being in control. And that's why a lot of us like neglect relationships because of like past trauma that we're still like really unaware of. And to keep this short, I think relationships would become so much easier because it simplified the whole process so much for me when I learnt more about the attachment styles. Secure, anxious, and avoidant. I'll spit out some statistics and say that 50% of us are secure and the other 50% is a split of anxious and avoidant. If you feel like you relate a lot with me, you're most likely more on the anxious avoidant end, because me personally, I am on this end as well. But that doesn't mean we can't change and grow and lean more towards a secure type attachment. The first and most important step to do this is to just become aware and educate yourself of why you act and react whenever something happens. So when a girl pulls back, why do you feel anxious? Why do you feel needy? Does it feel like you're getting abandoned? Does it feel like the love is gone? And this all gets stemmed from childhood is like the biggest and most largest part of the development. Really important stuff. Like, and it's so crazy how we don't get taught about any of this in school, which is like mind-boggling. So mind-boggling. It's some of the most important education. When I read this book, literally like this time last year, I was like, holy shit, why did I not read this sooner? Why? I wish someone gave me this advice and like put it on like a silver platter and was to just tell me, you read this book 1 or 2 times, you will know how to navigate your way through relationships a lot better. Which book? Attached by Dr. Amir Levine. Game changing. Like, I remember I recommended one of my close friends to read this, and he's never thanked me so much. It was like game changing, bro. What do you think of going out drinking here and there? What's going on, Isaac? Hey, big man. I think drinking... Ask yourself, why do you want to go out? Is it because you want to be social? Okay, if that's the case, you don't always need to drink and go crazy loose, because whenever I was invited to a party, I would instantly think that, oh, my friends are drinking, that means I need to one-up them and drink even more. So I would basically get blackout drunk at the end of every single high school party and think that was what was required of me. But when you're trying to improve yourself, you got to realize that alcohol isn't really serving you any benefit whatsoever. It's almost like a 3 to 5 day recovery to get back to 100%. Like, I know if I was to drink alcohol now and get smashed, oh my God, bro, I'd be like so aware of how shit and numbed down my brain has gotten. Like, the negative thoughts will be so high. I'd feel so low energy, low testosterone. And obviously, I don't want to sound like that guy and be like, "Oh no, never drink. If you drink, you're a failure and a loser of life." Obviously, no, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to go out because I think going out is important. Even if it's just a club, it's still important to be social. That's not what I'm shitting on. I'm not saying, no, no, stay home. Go out, get chicks, build social connections. It's important. But let's not rely on alcohol to make that easier because that's coping. Give yourself like a guideline. Like, okay, tonight I'm only going to drink 2 to 3 drinks max. And I'm going to stick to that. And then at least I know I am more of a man of my word and I do what I say I'm going to do. And now I'm going to say to myself, I'm going to talk to that girl. You're probably going to be more likely to do it the more of a man of your word you become. Yes. What's my test level? Never got it checked. I've asked for it at the doctor before, but he didn't give it to me, unfortunately. Life gets better after high school. I don't care. 1,000,000%, Leo. That's what I said in one of my recent YouTube videos. It's like high school is literally like prison. And most of the stuff we learn in there is completely unnecessary. Like I have learned, the most I've ever learned through all of the books I recommend and tell you to read, and that I've personally read in the last like 3 years. Like actually valuable stuff. We don't learn anything. We learn nothing about masculinity, about purpose, about relationships. We learn none of that like important stuff that we all care about in school. None of it. And it sucks. What is the purpose of life? I mean, I'm still yet to find that out. I'm only 23. I think we have seasons of life of peeling off purpose layer after purpose layer. And once we reach that point, we're going to reach our core purpose and get to that point. But I'm only 23, so I don't know. Why are you up late? Shouldn't you be maxing your sleep? You are right. I am actually I'm up past my bedtime. I'm going to wrap this live up in like 3 minutes. So any last questions, pump them out. Whether it be about gym, diet, self-improvement, mental health, physical health, relationships, books, etc. Oh my God, my throat. What's going on, Terry? Is uni worth it? It depends. If it's something that you are all in on and you have that feeling like, oh, this is my purpose, and I really want to become a doctor, not because I get this amount of money, but I like solving the problems that come with being a doctor, then by all means, bro, you follow that path. If you want to become what's another example? Nutritionist, and you love the problems that come along with that, that is something you want to do. But this is what I recorded this today about purpose. And if there's one lesson that you need to know, which is going to serve and help you the most, that's that when it comes to trying to find your purpose, you've got to ask yourself, how can I help and not what do I get? Because when you ask those questions of what do I get, like, oh, I can get this car, I get this amount of money, I get this girl, I get that. And then you actually get those things, you'll realize how short-lived that fulfillment is. It's like most people who get this supercar, they enjoy it for like the first day and then it just becomes boring and normal. And then they realize that the funnest part was like solving the problems in the journey. And as soon as you get whatever materialistic thing, you're like, oh, I just want to get back to work now and keep helping people. That's got to be the mindset we have to ingrain in us. Orthodox, yeah. Did I miss any comments from before? Which book? For those of you just joining, the book I recommended before was Attached by Dr. Emil Levine. Game changing. Basically, if you're struggling with navigating your way through relationships in any certain way, this book will answer all of those questions. You'll start to figure out why you act like this when this happens and why you feel like this when that happens. Read it last year. Game changing. I was planning on becoming a nutritionist because I thought, oh, I really like food and I really want to do that. But then I soon came to realize that I don't want to be working in some healthcare hospital I want to be able to travel wherever I want to go. That's like the main goal. And whether it be still giving advice about nutrition, I think it's just realizing that online businesses are so much more, have more freedom. And as men, we all want freedom and we want to feel free. And whenever we feel unfree, the life quality fucking sucks. I'm 18, any life tips? We've got to be more specific, like what area? It's a very like default question. What's going on? What's going on? If I was to give advice to my 18-year-old self, I would say, this is some simple advice because I guess it was a simple question, but I would say, stop prioritizing instant gratification and start prioritizing more delaying gratification habits, activities, tasks. Stop playing video games, stop fapping, stop watching Netflix, stop fapping. And start doing stuff which seems kind of challenging but is always worthwhile. And this was a good analogy I gave at the start of the live. I was saying how when you do one of these instant gratification habits, especially at 18, you're stealing happiness off the future you. So right now, let's say from 18 years old to 20 years old, if you were to play video games every single day, if you were to fap every day, if you were to watch Netflix every day, yes, you're having fun then. But when you become 20, that investment is going to be like down 100%. You've stolen all the happiness from your 20-year-old self, and now he has to deal with the consequences. Although it's fun now, although it seems really fun, it's not going to be fun for him. So this is why we've got to zoom out. And I know it seems a lot. You can say it's extreme, and you can be like, oh, Adrian, blah, blah, blah. No, it's too extreme. I can't just stop playing video games or drinking alcohol. All my friends do it, so I have to fit in. I know it seems extreme, but like this is why I think it's important to just take baby steps, little baby steps, because that's what I did. I didn't just personally do all of the good habits at once. I slowly built up to them. I read 1 page a day. I went from 8 hours of video games to 6. I went from 1 Netflix series a day to 1 episode a day. And when you start to do more delaying gratification habits, although it's hard in the moment and it requires something out of you, it's a bit of a challenge, daunting, scary, you have like fear. Although it's hard, what you're basically doing on a micro level, you're sending happiness coupons to your future self. So now let's imagine you go gym 3-4 times a week. You meditate 10 minutes a day. You read a book once a month or once a week. I don't know. Now that future version of you, he is going to be so much more happier. And he's going to be able to sit in an empty room with a smile on his face, knowing what he's doing right now is right. And it's led him to how he feels now. Like a lot of us just, we all have that negative mindset of, oh, I'm depressed because I feel like this now. I feel like this, so I'm sad and I deserve to be sad. And then we'll just continue to be depressed and sad without knowing why we feel like that. We all feel like that because of our previous actions. That leads to us becoming who we're meant to become. It's like, how does a billionaire become a billionaire? He doesn't just be a billionaire. It's like, oh, hi, I'm a billionaire. I've become rich. It's from all of his previous actions. How does a jacked guy get jacked? Does he just magically teleport and become jacked? No, it's from all of the previous actions. How does a guy become knowledge and a lot more like educated? Does it just happen randomly? Is it from genetics? No. It's from reading books consistently and regularly. First world problems, though. I don't believe in depression. It's all for attention seeking. Yes, and I learned about this in The Courage to Be Disliked. And fuck, this is going to be so strict. But as guys, one of our superpowers is emotional control. We can kind of, whatever we want to feel, we can snap our fingers and feel that way. If I want to feel angry now, I can just flip my fingers and feel angry. If I want to feel depressed, all right, I'm depressed now and this life's boring. So we choose how we want to feel. When we can understand that, everything becomes a whole lot more easier. So now think of a depressed person. What is a depressed person's goal and mission? What does he want to achieve? He wants to achieve feeling sad. How do you achieve feeling sad? You be depressed. So he is achieving his goal, and he's quite literally saying that this goal is easier and the path I want to do and what I feel like is my best decision to make right now. It's the same thing with, like, I guess, isolating yourself and not being social. People don't want to be social and say they're alone and don't have friends, but they're achieving their goal by saying that. Everything we do is rooted and our way and path to achieving our goal. It's a very, like, when you zoom out, like, what the fuck, Adrian, that makes no sense. And it's very, I can understand people's point of view when they hear this and they think it's very, like, extreme. But I've learnt a lot, and I hope this can kind of, like, open up your mind, because it really helped me so much. Thanks so much for the follow, Skip Man, sorry. My mates want to go out clubbing and stuff, I do as well, just don't want to drink. That's fine, like, if they're real true mates, they won't judge you because of the fact that you don't want to drink. Whereas if they get negative to you, if they start saying stuff like, oh, you're a party pooper, you're not fun, why don't you drink? Again, they're saying that because they know you're making progress and trying to improve yourself, and they don't like that, so they are almost like crabs in a bucket, and whenever they see you doing something that's outside of their norm, they are quite literally trying to pull you down and don't want to see you make progress. But most of the time, it's not really like that unless they're, like, really bad friends. But if they're the type of friends who are challenging you and want you to be better, a real friend will be like, oh, that's fine, bro. Stay locked in. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Like, you don't want to drink? That's fine. It's your decision. I'm not going to impact your choice. But if you, as guys, we do have this, like, strong fear of conflict, and we don't always want to speak how we feel because we fear that the other person will get mad at us. It's not healthy, because I know that feeling. It fucking sucks. If we kind of are an overthinker and we know what the person is going to say, then, okay, maybe we don't even need to say it and we should just, like, distance ourselves from them. Guys, I'm going to answer 2 more questions, pump them through. Did I miss any previous comments? You go into the drive-through, mate. I guess we'll end this live with an actionable step, and that's that. I want all of you to ask yourself right now, what is that one habit that you're struggling with the most? Whether it be reading, going to the gym, meditating, maybe even nofap. I want us all to comment, what is the one habit or bad habit that we feel like is controlling us? Because for me personally, it was... What was my worst bad habit? Probably video games was controlling the fuck out of me. So let's say a bad habit that's controlling us and a good habit we want to do more of. I guess that's a better way of wording it. We want to do more of reading. Yeah. How did I overcome it? So with addictions, there's 2 ways you can overcome it. You can overcome it through cold turkey, which is pretty much going from one extreme to another extreme. I'm going to be honest, it rarely fucking works. The withdrawal symptoms are crazy high. You always just end up relapsing anyway. Like, oh, I'm on a 1-day streak and I haven't done it. And when that streak ends, you just go back into your old ways. So don't do cold turkey. It works for some people, but for me personally, it didn't really work. A good mindset is progressive overloading, which is something I always speak about, and I'm going to speak about it again. If we're playing video games right now for 6 to 7 hours a day, 6 hours to 0 hours is a big jump, and it's not going to result in that much progress. If anything, we're going to get withdrawal symptoms like crazy and just relapse. What we need to do instead is make it as frictionless as possible, so as easy to accomplish. And how can we do that with a habit like video games? First, we need to figure out how much time a day we spend on it. If that's 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever, we write that number down on, actually I have a journal here. I'm just pulling everything out. I've got a journal. We've got to write that down. Piece of paper, write down 7 hours and fucking stick it up on your wall. Do that. Once we have it up on our wall, at least then we are more aware of how much time we are wasting. And we can say to ourselves, okay, I've been playing it for 6 hours. What if I just go from 6 hours to 5? A very micro, small little difference. If anything, I still get 5 hours of video games. I won't even notice the fact that I've played it a little bit less, and I could still have my 5 hours of fun. You do that, and you'll be surprised. Like once you accomplish that, you'll be like, oh my God, I just accomplished a goal. Holy fuck, I haven't accomplished any goals in my life, but I just set a goal and I did it. That was fun. Let's make another goal now. Let's go from 5 hours to 4, 4 hours to 3. Why do I even need video games? That's exactly what happened to me. And there was a point in time where I had my console here for 6 months, didn't touch it. And then I just asked myself, I'm like, why do I still have it? It is just quite frankly sitting there collecting dust. So me and my brother decided, okay, that's like $500 sitting there. Why don't we sell it? So now it's no longer in our environment and we never have the thought or feeling to relapse ever again. That is how I beat my video game addiction. And I guess the same sort of like theory applies to fapping. If you fap however many times in a week, become aware of that number and try get lower. Same thing with junk food. If you eat junk food this amount of times in a week, become aware of that number and try get lower. That's what helped me the most. And withdrawal symptoms are low. Yeah, you'll still get the feeling and you'll get FOMO when all your other friends are playing a game and you're not. And it will be painful at first, just because of the fact that you've been playing video games for like 8 fucking years. But we do that and it puts us on the right path to making real, slow and steady progress. I hope that can help. Any final questions? You guys are asking the best questions. It's 11 o'clock, damn. I'm probably going to leave things there, guys. Thank you so much for the questions. I hope you found value in my answers. I don't know when I'll be live next. Thanks, no worries, man. I feel like fapping is the best to go cold turkey because it's so hard to control how often you do it. That's a very good... Wait, did I just lie? Did I do cold turkey with no fap? Oh, I guess you can say I kind of try to do cold turkey, but then I'll relapse, but then I would always stay motivated to not do it. But that's a very good comment, Leo. I actually do kind of agree with that. I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you like this type of content, I'm sure you'll love my YouTube channel a whole lot more. If you are interested in that, click that little account button. I've got like some link tree if you're more interested in like the long form type of stuff. Other than that, I hope we have a good rest of week and smash and accomplish all of our goals. And always, always, always don't fucking fall into the bad habits because like I've said plenty of times in this live, they just steal happiness from our future self. Have a good night, boys. I'll see you in the next one, all right? Take care.